Patterns are found everywhere in the market. Doesn't matter what chart you're looking at or what market you're looking at, whether it's Forex, stocks, commodities, or whatever. Patterns can be seen and patterns repeat over and over again. This is what we will be discussing on today's episode. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Supercharger Trading Podcast. I am your host, 𝐷𝐄𝐿, and today we are talking all about patterns. Now, it is obvious that the financial markets, especially the Forex market, does not move in a straight line. The market ebbs and flows continuously and even moves in cycles. But one of the things that a lot of people have started noticing in recent years is that there are patterns that come up from time to time. And when I say time to time, I mean countless times throughout the day, every single day, week after week, year after year. No matter which time frame you choose to trade off of, there are going to be certain patterns that emerge if you know what you are looking for. As far back as I can remember, I have always been the type of person to be able to spot patterns that repeat themselves. Maybe this has something to do with my martial arts and self-defense training, always looking for weaknesses in my opponent, or maybe it has something to do with some other factor. But either way, I have always been able to spot repeating patterns in things. So when it came down to trading, even before I found harmonic trading, I would see patterns that repeat themselves over and over again. But I kind of didn't know what I was looking at or how to take advantage of them yet. The system I was trading at the time that I started seeing these patterns was called Ichimoku. And that's kind of an indicator that looks like a couple of moving averages surrounded by some weird looking cloud. So the cloud kind of covered a lot of the price action. So seeing the patterns clearly was a bit of a challenge. And I really was not that concerned with actually trading that pattern at that point. But I did start seeing them. Then one day, while scrolling down my newsfeed on Facebook, I ended up coming across someone talking about the book titled Harmonic Trading Volume 1 by a man named 𝐋𝐞𝐭'𝐬. I purchased the book and the book hit me like a 2-ton truck going 100 miles an hour down the highway. It made perfect sense to me. Now, harmonic patterns are extremely precise patterns, and that connected with me on a level I had not felt before. For the first time in my trading career, I felt like this was it. This is what I had been looking for. Now, I wasn't just blown away by the fantastic winning percentages that harmonic patterns have. Do you know how high of a win rate patterns have in trading? Now, I'll get to that in a bit later, but they are high. No, the fact is that I was blown away that someone had identified these patterns and wrote them down for others to learn. They were willing to share them. That is awesome. You see, in this trading world, not many people like sharing their methodology to make money, at least not the ones that really work. Most of the time that people share their system, it is just someone trying to make money from scamming people with a system that is just somewhat okay at best and a handful of photoshopped results. But after I read the book, I did some backtesting on the patterns, and sure enough, I found great results. It was more than enough for me to decide then and there that this is what I should be doing from now on in trading. And I thought to myself, this is how I will make money trading from here on out. And from that point to now, my trading has taken a huge turn from being just okay to being phenomenal. Couple my trading system with the money management system I use, and you have a monster of a system. Now, I am not the only one doing this type of trading. Lots of people are harmonic pattern traders nowadays. And more people are using the same money management system I use as well. And for good reason. They see value in it. They know that these are good systems to utilize. So don't think that you can't use these systems as well. You can. Now, the whole idea behind harmonic patterns is to help people spot potential reversal points, turning points, and retracements in the market. The point in which the market has a very high probability of turning around. We also utilize Fibonacci retracements and extensions to assist us in finding these patterns. Now, I don't know if you want to get into it, but I think this stuff is fascinating. You know, the brief history of Fibonacci, Leonardo Fibonacci was a very famous mathematician back in 1200 AD. And at some point in his career, he had an aha moment when he discovered a simple set of numbers that created ratios describing the natural proportions of things in the entire universe. These ratios can be found from everything from the spiral in a shell that you find down on the beach to the length between your shoulder to elbow and elbow to wrist, and even to trading. Now, the most common ratios found in Fibonacci trading as they relate to harmonic patterns are the 38.2 level, the 61.8% level, the 78.6% level, and the 88.6% levels. There are other levels such as the 50% level and the 23.6% levels, but these aren't as significant as the others. And the 50% level is actually not a true Fibonacci level either. So what are the different patterns in harmonic trading then? Well, the first one I'll go over is the 𝐷𝐿𝐼 pattern. The 𝐷𝐿𝐼 pattern was first found back in like the 1930s by a guy named Harold 𝐷𝐿𝐼, H.M. 𝐷𝐿𝐼 as some people will call him. Sometimes you hear this pattern called the 𝐷𝐿𝐼 222 pattern, but not many people call it that anymore. But this is really in reference to the page number it was found in H.M. 𝐷𝐿𝐼's book, Profits in the Stock Market. Now, the 𝐷𝐿𝐼 is a great pattern to trade, but it can be quite difficult to spot if you don't know what you're looking for. Now, with this being an audio podcast, I can't really show you how to spot these utilizing Fibonacci, but you can learn about these in my free community. But the 𝐷𝐿𝐼 pattern is a great pattern, and I have personally seen win rates that are ridiculously high. In fact, my current win rate for 𝐷𝐿𝐼s just for this year sits around 81%. Couple that with excellent risk management and good money management, and you have yourself a killer system, even if you only trade this one pattern alone. The second pattern that I trade is the BAT pattern. Now, the BAT pattern was identified by Scott Carney back in 2001 and first published in his book, The Harmonic Trader, and is a killer pattern in the harmonic pattern world. It utilizes a very deep 88.6% Fibonacci retracement as the turning point and also has a very high win rate as well. Now, my win rate is not as high right now as I have seen before. Right now, just hovering around 72%. But even still, that gives you quite an edge in the market. The BAT is an incredibly accurate pattern and also requires a much smaller stop loss than most other patterns. And even though I have currently a higher winning percentage with the 𝐷𝐿𝐼 pattern, the BAT pattern also comes up more than other patterns I find. In the future, I will actually do videos showing you how to identify the BAT pattern and how to trade it over on my YouTube channel. So make sure that you're subscribed over there as well. Another great harmonic pattern you'll hear me talk about is the butterfly pattern. The butterfly pattern was discovered by Bryce Gilmore, but the exact alignments of Fibonacci ratios was actually defined by Scott Carney, and Scott's ratios have pretty much become the industry standard for the pattern. Now, the butterfly pattern has some mixed results that I can see. I used to trade the butterfly pattern a lot, but I personally only saw really an average of about 55% win rates with my butterflies. And because of this, I had decided to spend more time trading and looking for trades using the 𝐷𝐿𝐼 and BAT patterns. But one of my friends that also trades patterns gets something like an 83% win rate with his butterfly patterns. And I believe he only trades butterflies and 𝐷𝐿𝐼s now. Now, instead of it using a retracement for the final leg of the pattern, it actually uses a 127 extension of the final leg. You know, I actually took one of these a couple of weeks ago and actually talked about it over on my YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, if you want to go check it out. The last pattern that you'll hear me talk about from time to time is the karma pattern. This is a pattern that I spotted years ago. It is actually a pattern that comes off of another pattern and can come off of a BAT pattern or a 𝐷𝐿𝐼 pattern. I currently have around a 75% win rate with it, both in back testing, demo trading, and live trading. This pattern I teach in my Ultimate Forex Trading Masterclass course and within our free community that you can get access to for free at sevenfigurecashflowsecrets.com. Now, besides these four patterns, there are a whole host of other patterns out there. There's the crab pattern, the deep crab pattern, the 5-0 pattern, the shark pattern, the 3 drives pattern, and the ABCD pattern. There's also a well-known pattern out there called the cipher pattern, but I'm actually not a big fan of it. Quite a few people over the years have been talking about this pattern a lot, giving a lot of praise about it and claiming high win rates like 75% and 80%, etc. But I went on a massive 1,000+ hour back test of this pattern after I had been trading it live and only seeing at most a 40% win rate. I had tested the pattern on 21 currency pairs and multiple time frames. After I was done backtesting it, I found the average win rate was around 39% max, and a lot of currency pairs were far less than that. No wonder I wasn't making money with it. And I'm not the only one realizing that this pattern is not that great in recent days. I have talked with quite a few others that mentioned they are also getting the same results I got. Now, the people that go on and on talking about the cipher and how great it is and will try to come back with a response like, oh, you just don't know the rules and are putting on bad trades. But what they don't realize is that I was actually taught how to find and execute the patterns by the same people that created the pattern in the first place. I have their course and I had asked countless questions about it in their live trading rooms in the past. I know how the pattern goes. But anyway, I digress. In the future, I will be doing a lot more videos on YouTube for everyone so that you know how to find these patterns and such to go along with everything I'm doing here on the podcast. I will even share my back testing results, losses, and more. I don't want to hold anything back. My whole idea behind me teaching is not holding anything back, giving all the information I know away and everything I am learning. Yes, even after trading for 19 years, I am still learning. And I know there are some quote unquote gurus out there that will give you 90%, maybe less, of what they know and keep the rest of it for themselves, never to share. But I don't want to be that type of person. I want to give you everything. So if you like this information that I share with you, come join our community over at 7figurecashflowsecrets.com. And the 7 is the number 7. So number 7, 7figurecashflowsecrets.com. And I promise you, you won't regret it. Until next time, guys, take care and happy trading.